What's going on, everybody? Coach Mike here. I've got a 25-minute beginner-friendly workout for you today. We're gonna be working through 3 basic positions. The 90-90 position, which is gonna be working on the hips. We have our hands and knees, our quadruped position, working on the shoulders. And then we're gonna work from our straddle or frog position, working on the inner thighs. So I'm gonna be coaching you along. We're gonna go through how to get into and out of the movements correctly, and then what to be focusing on while you're doing them. So look forward to seeing you there. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we're gonna be starting from the 90-90 position, but we're gonna start with hip openers. So have a seat on the bum, bring your legs open to about 90 degrees, knees bent to 90 degrees. We're gonna lean back on the hands, and we're gonna be rocking the hips in and out. Really focus on the chest staying faced forward and not turning the torso with the hips. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So as we rock in and out, try to keep the chest facing directly forward so there's no rotation. That way all of the movement is coming from the hips and not from the pelvis and lower back. Feeling this all throughout the hip joint and maybe up in the bum. Great way to warm up and get ready for movement. So we're gonna let both legs fall to the left-hand side into our 90-90. So we've got a 90-degree angle with the back leg, 90 degree at the hip, and then 90 degrees with the front leg. Turn the torso to face the left thigh. Turn so you can see me here, and we're gonna go into a glute stretch. So reach the chest forward and long, and then we're gonna sweep side to side and find the areas that feel tightest. So we can spend a little extra time stretching those tight spots as we go side to side. You're gonna feel all the way from the inner thigh, and then as you go to your left, you'll feel it more in the butt. Try to stay low and try to keep the back as straight as possible. All right, so next up is a really tough one. It's a 90-90 good morning. So we're gonna stay in this same position, turn the torso facing the left thigh. You can bring the hands up by the head like so, and then we're gonna reach forward and long with the chest. So forward and long, doing good morning, just like a good morning, standing, but done from this 90-90 position. Try to keep the back as straight as possible and reach forward. Super normal to get a cramp in the back hip. If you get that and it's unbearable, just come out, do a quick hip opener, and then dive right back in. You should be feeling the left glute muscle working and stretching. Reach long and forward, back nice and straight. All right, if you weren't cramping here, now you will. We're gonna be working on a back leg raise. So again, keep the torso facing the front leg, and we'll simply be lifting this knee and foot straight up and down off of the ground. Here we go. So lift straight up and down, and try not to lean the torso. So try to stay as upright as you can as you lift. In a perfect world, we want to be able to do these with the hands off the floor. As you're getting used to them, put the hands on the floor for support. You're gonna feel right in this butt cramping. We're working on hip internal rotation, which is very strongly correlated to lower back pain if you lack hip internal rotation strength and flexibility. And time. All right, we're gonna switch to our hurdler leans. So now we're gonna take ourselves from that 90-90 position and straighten the right leg. And now we're gonna be reaching up and over and stretching this left side of the body. So up and over, stretching the left side of the body, reach up and over. Try to keep the chest facing the left side. So you want to think of having your torso in line with your right leg as you reach up and over. You can use your bottom arm as leverage against that bottom leg. And big reaches. Almost there. All right, left side is done. We're gonna return back to the center for hip openers, or hip swivels, they're also called. Lots of names for them, windshield wipers. People like to name things different things. I just call them hip openers because that's what they do. Chest facing forward, and let's rock side to side. Nice and gentle. If you can't make it all the way to the floor, that's no problem. When I started out, I was like this, really tight. I played hockey when I was younger, and then played a ton of video games as a young adult. So very, very stiff until I started doing this stuff. Really helped out. And now we're gonna have the legs fall out to the right hand side here. I'm gonna repeat those same sequences on the right. So now we're reaching long over top of that right thigh. Keep the back as straight as you can. And then we're gonna sweep the body side to side to explore any areas that are tight. Here we go. Nice, long, rotate side to side. Feel any areas that are extra tight. Try to keep the back straight and reaching the chest forward the whole time. I know for me, when I go to my right, that's when I feel it tightest on my right side. On my left, I feel it the other way. I feel it tighter when I go towards the inside of my body. But hey, we're human. All right, we got our 90-90 good mornings. These are extremely tough. We're gonna turn the torso to face the right thigh now, hands up by the head, and reach the body long and forward for these. Feel free to use your hands on the ground if you need the support. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, and let's get it. Long through the chest. Feeling that right glute working. If you're newer to this style of training, working on mobility, you'll probably feel this in this back hip, and that's totally normal. As you build the strength there, you're not gonna feel it in that back hip at all. It's only gonna be the right side, but take some time to get there. Just keep practicing. Almost there. And that's time. And if you are already cramping, I kind of apologize, but not really. We're gonna be doing those back leg raises. So lifting this back foot straight up and down on the ground, off the ground, facing the chest forward. Try to do these, staying as upright as you can. Here we go. So nice and upright. Try not to lean too much to the right. In a perfect world, we're doing these with the hands off the floor and just hover, hold for a second or two, and then drop it. There we go. I like these flowing style mobility. It keeps things interesting. You're going from one movement to the next, but without changing positions. So it makes it real smooth. That's time. Whew. All right, we got the hurdler lean. So this time, left leg's gonna come out straight. Right leg is gonna be up against the thigh. We're gonna turn the torso to face the right side, and we're gonna reach up and over, stretching the right side lower back. So here we go, up and over. You can use your arm on the thigh as leverage to get a little bit further into it. Think about trying to turn the torso toward your right leg as you reach up and over. If you have any history with like lots of powerlifting, bodybuilding, or Olympic lifting like me, this is gonna feel really tight. And that's time. All right, so we got our next chunk here. We're gonna be working from a quadruped position, working on some shoulder mobility. So we're gonna start off with cat-cow. We got a quick break here to get ready. So hands and knees position for our next one. Just make sure your knees are directly below your hips and hands are directly below your shoulders. So for the cat and cow, we're trying to move the spine into as extreme of a forward and backward curve as possible. So here we go, we're gonna suck the stomach in, tuck the chin, and round the back as much as possible, and then go the opposite direction. Pull the belly button to the ground, tailbone to the sky, and look up. So try to exhale as you look down and round, and then inhale as you look up. We're just getting the thoracic spine ready. All right, and we're gonna do some basic shoulder circles here. So we're gonna sit on the floor like so, and we're gonna make some nice big circles with the shoulder. The goal of these is to not move the torso. So only doing backstrokes. Try not to move the torso. Keep the torso as still as possible and move the shoulder through the biggest range of motion as possible. You wanna find the areas that feel most difficult and spend more time there so that we increase the range of motion. So for me, it's right here is my sticky spot, really tough, and really try to go in as extreme of a circle as you can. It's better to go slow, get less reps, but more work in that uncomfortable area than to go really fast and just whip through them. All right, nicely done. So we've got a T-spine opener. So we're gonna come back to our hands and knees position here. This time the left arm is gonna reach up to the ceiling and then underneath, trying to get the back of the shoulder to the floor. So let's go ahead, take the left arm up to the ceiling, open up, and then take the arm under the other arm and try to get the back of the shoulder on the floor, and imagine trying to turn so your chest faces up. We're just going back and forth here, trying to rotate the spine as much as we can here. All right, so let's take from this hands and knees position, step the left leg straight back so that we're in a side kneeling position, and then we're gonna do some more shoulder circles with the left arm. This time, we're gonna really feel the side body stretch. So reach up and over and try to reach down toward the floor, feel the stretch in the side body, and then we go around. So the action here is right here overhead, reach down to the floor, puff the ribs up, and feel the side of the body stretching. Try to have the eyes follow the hand so that you get a little bit of neck rotation too as you go around. All right, and our last one's a little awkward. It's a chicken wing. So we're gonna lie down on the back. This is for shoulder internal rotation. So lie down on the back. We're gonna take the left arm underneath the tailbone, left hand, sorry, underneath the tailbone, and we're gonna try and lift off the floor. So just like so, lift off the floor, trying to bring the elbow straight up to the ceiling. You'll feel a stretch in the front of the arm and back down. So we're working on the internal rotation of the shoulder. It's one part of flexibility that often is missed, but very important for overall shoulder health. As soon as you go down into a push-up full range, bench press full range, your internal rotation is the restrictor. Really good for keeping your shoulders healthy through those presses. And that's time. We're gonna go through the whole sequence on the other side. So we're gonna go back to the hands and knees. This workout moves pretty quick. So feel free, if you wanna do more work in any of the positions, just pause the video, spend some extra time there. Works great. We're back to the cat and cow. So rounding, tuck the chin. And then look up, bring the belly button to the floor and breathe in. Back and forth we go. We got our shoulder circles. We're gonna come to our kneeling position. And again, backstroke with the shoulder. Try to keep the torso as still as possible so we're not rotating from the torso, just the arm. Spend all the extra time in the sticky spots. And here we go. Up and back, really big. Another tip for these is try to push the shoulder out of the socket the whole time. So you're trying to make your arm as long and straight as possible. That way all of the motion is coming from the shoulder joint and not from the elbow or wrist or anything like that. We want to be pushing it out. Oh. All right, almost there. All right, we got our rotations now. So back to the hands and knees. We're gonna take the right arm up to the ceiling and then back under. We're gonna try and get the back of the shoulder on the floor and turn the torso to face the sky. Here we go, up. Go to the ceiling and then turn, try to get the back of the shoulder on the floor. So you're gonna feel the side of the body stretch here. And then as you go down, you'll feel behind the shoulder stretch here. So we're just trying to rotate the spine as much as we can here to help with our thoracic spine and shoulder mobility. Next, we got half kneeling circles. So take the right leg, step behind the left, and then we're gonna turn. So we're in our side kneeling position, and the right arm is gonna do the circles now. So reaching up and over and stretching the side body as we go. So here we go. Reach up and over, reach the floor, stretching the side of the body. Eyes follow the hand as you make big circles here. A big part of training your mobility is moving as deliberately as you can, trying to move whichever joint you're trying to target the range of motion of, Try to have it so all the motion is coming just from that joint, so you're not compensating and moving with other parts of the body. Takes a lot of focus to do it properly, but it's very, very powerful. All right, we got our weird one, the chicken wing. So lying on the back, take the hand underneath the tailbone here, and then we're gonna lift the arm off the floor. So we're rotating the shoulder internally. So here we go, lift up off the floor, bring the elbows straight up to the ceiling, as high as you can, and down. Up we go. You'll feel this stretch at the front of the shoulder, front and kind of side of the shoulder as you rotate the shoulder internally. Flying through this one. And that's time. All right. So last 30-second break before we go to our adductor section. So we're gonna start in the frog position. So in a kneeling position with the knees very wide, have the knees bent to about 90 degrees and the toes are gonna be facing straight out. From here, you wanna bring it to about a 6 out of 10 stretch. So you wanna just start to feel a little bit of discomfort with the stretch, and then we're gonna just rock the hips back and forth as much as you can without pain, pinching, anything like that. So back and forth we go. If you're feeling any grinding or crunching or pinching or anything like that in the hips, just bring the knees narrower until you can get to that range without those uncomfortable sensations. It should just be a nice intense stretch that travels from the adductors to the butt and back and forth as we go. So it's just getting the adductors ready. Awesome, so we're gonna come to a half kneeling position now. So right leg down, left foot will be out to the side. We're gonna try and imagine our leg and body in one plane as we rock side to side, opening up the hips, like so. So side we go, feeling the stretch in the inner thigh. Try to keep the hips and shoulders squared forward, like you're moving along one plane on a wall or something like that. So we're all in one plane of existence here as we go side to side. Use your arm on the leg to push a little bit further back. This is a really, really good one to do as a warm-up before squats, especially if you plan on going with full depth. The adductors, the inner thighs, tend to be the limiter for the deep squat. All right, so we're gonna stay in the same position. This time, we're gonna add the upper body into the mix. So at the top, the hands are gonna be together on the knee. And then as you go down, open up, and it's gonna be like you're reaching your body away from your knee. So reach your body in one direction, knee goes in that direction as we come up and down. So we're making this stretch a little bit more global, a lot more happening in this one, a lot more dynamic. Reach and open. Here we go. The lower back muscles and the adductor muscle of the opposite side tend to share tightness. So typically if your left side adductor is tight, your right side lower back will also be. It's not a rule, it's just a common thing that happens. And that's time. So we like to do both at the same time. All right, so we're gonna go into a wide-legged rock. So from this position, just turn the toes to face forward, leg nice and straight, hands on the floor, and we're just gonna rock back and forth, feeling a stretch on this left inner thigh. Here we go, try to keep the back straight as you go back, don't let it round if you can. And we're just stretching back and forth. If you're not feeling it, just go a little bit wider, and that should bring it on. After this, we're gonna go into the Cossack squats. They're very tough, super, super effective though. That stretch, try to keep the back flat, really feel the adductor stretching. Try to stick the bum out as you go back to really feel that adductor. All right, so from here, we're just gonna stand up. So we're in a wide-legged stance. A good starting point is to have the ankles as wide as your wingspan, and then we're gonna lunge down to one side. So keep this leg straight, squat down as low as you possibly can, and back up without bending this straightened leg. If you can, go all the way down and have the toe turn up. And we're just gonna do some reps here. Try to keep the torso facing forward, chest upright, so we're not dumping the chest forward. Stay as upright as you can. It would be better to be doing half reps like this and be squared than to dump forward and get lower. So we're just focusing on squared with the hips as we stretch this adductor. And the last one. All right, we're gonna bring ourselves back to that frog position. and then we're gonna go back to rocking. So knees on the floor, toes pointing out, knees bent to about 90, and we're gonna rock back and forth from here. There we go. Rocking back and forth, back and forth. Again, no grinding, no crunching, no popping, pinching, none of that stuff. If you're feeling it, just bring the feet a little bit narrower, or the knees a little bit narrower. And that should be good. All right, so we're gonna come to our half kneeling position. Again, moving in one plane of existence here. We're gonna try and rock this leg to the right, like so, feeling the adductors stretching. Here we go. 2, 1, let's get it out to the side. Actively pushing this knee out to the side to really feel that adductor open. You might feel a little bit on the other side too, that's totally fine. Open, open. Excellent. Mobility work is not really glamorous. Kind of looks a little bit lame, but when you do it regularly, your body just feels infinitely better, and you're capable of doing so much more. You're so much less injury prone when you're not forcing your joints where they're not able to go. Time. All right, we're gonna do the opening. So hands together on the knee, open and close, open and close. So again, you're trying to lean the body away from the knee. Knee goes that way, body goes this way. Here we go. Reach, open, 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 and back in. Open, open, back in we go. Excellent. Big reach. Time. All right, we're gonna straighten the foot. So leg goes out to the side and straight, and then we're rocking back and forth, stretching this adductor. Try to keep the leg completely tight and straight, and the back nice and flat. Here we go. Reach and stretch. Good. Reach, stretching the adductor. Try to keep the back as flat as you can. Good stuff. This stuff feels very daunting at first. It looks so basic, but it feels so hard. But you just stick with it. Just do it, 2 to 3 times a week, and you'll find yourself improving at a rate that you didn't think was really gonna be possible. And time. All right, and our Cossack squats. So again, torso and hips face forward. Keep this leg completely straight. We're bending the left, straightening the right. Down we go into these Cossack squats. That's it. And down you go. Keep as straight as you can, hips and chest facing forward as we stretch into these Cossacks. If you've done our videos before, you probably notice these are in quite a few videos. They're a really effective way to improve your hip mobility. We do them weighted in our studio with members and in our training programs because weighted stretching is a little bit more effective. Here we go, awesome stuff. All right, there we are, 25 minutes, awesome little hip and upper body mobility routine, very beginner friendly, so feel free to do this 2 to 3 times a week for your best results. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you're not already subscribed, we post every Thursday and Sunday. It's usually mobility focused. About half of our content is mobility or flexibility focused, and the other is a lot of body weight, sometimes some HIIT stuff. So we really focus on the workouts that you can do at home with little to no equipment. So look forward to seeing you there. Have a great one. Let me know in the comments which section did you find hardest and what would you like to focus on more in future videos. Peace out.